Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first matchup of the NBA Cup. There is a lot of excitement in this building tonight. I'm Kevin Harlan, excited to share the broadcast table tonight with Greg Anthony and Richard Jefferson. And we'll hear from Allie LaForce on the sideline. Here are the five for the Raptors. Perimeter pairing, Barrett and Ingram. The post pairing, Barnes playing alongside Pirtle. And it's quickly in at the point guard position. And for the Cavaliers, the big men on the floor for them, Mobley and Allen. Harden out there with Mitchell. And it's Tyson in at the 3 spot. And we have a little extra spice to this game tonight. This is the first game of the NBA Cup for Clay. He's checked in for Cleveland. Sam Merrill comes in for James Harden. The Raptors also with a sub. Johnson's checked in. And it's Johnson with the jam.
Taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah, we didn't expect to see that kind of finish.
A point guard getting up like that? Boy, that is special.
And it's Mitchell with the ball for the Cavaliers. 8-point game. Pass to Merrill. Now Mobley. No good from outside. Let's go to the sideline and see what Allie LaForce has dug up for us. Allie, take it away.
I was able to talk with Kenny Atkinson for a minute. One player he is worried about in particular is Scotty Barnes because of the way he affects every phase of the game. You need points, there he is. You need a stop or a big rebound, he's got you. Anything asked of him, he can do it at a high level. Back to you guys.
All right, Allie, we thank you for that. Barnes finds Johnson. Barnes sets a screen for Johnson. Out of bounds, Cleveland will take possession.
A chance to check out stats for Barnes. He's coming off an excellent season. He was around 19 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. And he has been passing the ball like a virtuoso. That's what really stands out about these recent performances.
I've played with someone like him, the type of player that looks to get others involved first. That's my type of teammate.
Clock at 6. Pass to Merrill. Launches a 3. The rebound by Brandon Ingram. Raptors trail by 7. And joining us now by phone is insider Shams Charania with some news. Shams, give it to us.
Well, excitement building in Ontario ahead of this coming May when the WNBA makes its long-awaited launch north of the border. The Toronto Tempo will become Canada's first ever WNBA franchise. And with that league finding a rhythm, this debut feels right on time.
It is a beautiful thing. And Shams, we appreciate the report.
Defense kind of rolled the dice there, and I'm a little surprised that it ended up going their way with the miss.
Pass to Mitchell. 1:25 left in the first quarter. And Mobley throws it down.
Everyone on his team has to be loving this. Great to see Mobley finding his offensive rhythm.
And Cleveland making a change here. Allen's checked in, and Toronto making a change here. Quickly kicks to Barnes. Mitchell against Johnson.
Have mercy.
Wow.
And I gotta say, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult when they're trailing.
But still a magnificent move to the rim. And that's a great look at that slam from our AT&T Connected Cam. To the paint, here's Barnes, and the dunk by Barnes.
When this kid has hops, Barnes gets airborne there, then slams it down.
Screws a screen on Johnson. Wade on the wing. No good on the 3.
Shocking that he just bricked that one. The defense got real lucky there.
Johnson with the bounce pass. Murray Boyle with the bucket.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And here is Mitchell. Evan Mobley getting it done for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He put together quite a quarter, 13 points in all. And he looks to be planning for more. Back to the action in just a minute. Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Cavaliers.
They've really been dialed in from deep. This is a team that has a ton of confidence in their outside shooting ability.
And something else that I liked is how they attack the paint, finding ways to get inside and capitalize time and time again.
So on the floor for Toronto to start this second quarter. Johnson is out there with Emmanuel quickly. Then it's Grady Dick. And Murray Boyles in at the center position. Here's Johnson, and he uses the glass on the layup. Johnson's got 8 points.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Allen outside. Pass to Merrill. Now Strus. Looking for Allen and gets it there. Back to Strus. Here's Merrill. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Johnson against Strus. Oh, wow!
That is powerful.
And guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatic.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness. A different look now for Cleveland. Tyson's checked in. And it's Ellison for Sam Merrill. And Toronto also making a switch. They're checked in for Dick. And that one's good. Schroeder.
And they've done a great job knocking down those long-range shots here in the second, shooting just over 40% from downtown.
Here's Johnson, and then Johnson with the dunk.
Taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah, we didn't expect to see that kind of finish.
A point guard getting up like that? Boy, that is special.
And Schroeder's got the ball here for Cleveland. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game, and that will be the middle game of this three-game homestand.
Their third three-pointer in a row.
Johnson with it. Wade picks him up.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
And you can feel the jolt of energy that he sent through his team. That is a huge boost in a tight game like this.
Toronto trailing. Johnson surveying the floor. Pass to Mahmoud Kalashvili. From downtown, it falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
As a playmaker, Barrett has improved his vision, plays with a good recognition and been very unselfish.
And a wide open look here for Ellis. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up. They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Schroeder outside. And a great assist by Allen as that one goes in.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D shifts.
So both teams changing it up here. Let's take a moment to look at the 2K leaderboard and see last year's high-scoring teams. The Cavaliers, #1.
Yeah, #1 in the league in terms of points per game a season ago. They play as a team, just really unselfish in terms of their brand of basketball.
Here's Bryant. That one off the back iron and out. RJ, last season, as we know, the Cavs got hit with the injury bug at the worst possible time, right in the playoffs.
Yeah, the worst time possible. Their key players all had injury concerns as the season wore on. But sometimes you just got to play through it in the playoffs.
Harden, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. People have said, Greg, he is a system unto himself. In fact, he said it about himself. James Harden's ability, GA, to break down defenses remains in rarefied air.
And even as he's lost a step now, his supreme skill level ensures he remains a threat on a nightly basis.
Barrett the pass to Johnson. Over Harden. Johnson can't get it to go. Cleveland's gone 4-7 on three-point shots in the second quarter.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
inside, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson.
And now we get a chance to check out Donovan Mitchell. Great showing for him last season. Last year averaging 24 points per, 5 assists and 4 rebounds. But to have a scorer like him consistently deliver you points makes such a big difference for a team.
He's someone you can rely on to bring it on a nightly basis. When they need a basket, he's the guy they turn to.
And the basket by Harden.
As dangerous a penetrator there is, Harden's understanding for when to knife inside is ridiculous.
And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Scotty Barnes letting everyone know. He said, I'm a great defender. I feel like it doesn't really get talked about enough. I guard whoever, 1 through 5. That's what I pride myself on and what I'm ready to do every time I step on the floor. Back to you guys.
A tone setter for sure at that end. Thanks so much for the report, Allie.
Oh, and he got fancy with that one.
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open. Toronto shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight.
And as a group, they shot 75% from the line last season.
Hurdle, he's checked in for Toronto. Back to Harden. Three-pointer. The 3-ball goes for James Harden.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
And the dunk by Pirtle.
Moving so well for his size, Jakob is fantastic in that two-man action.
And the Cavaliers with another 3.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Hurdle sets the pick for Johnson. Off target with his 3. James Harden getting it done for Cleveland. He's been a major threat from three-point range. Got 2 of them to fall in that quarter. Right back after this break.
Hi, everybody. We've got your favorite segment on tap as we check out how the Eastern Conference is shaping up.
You look at Cleveland. They knew it was going to be a tough year, and I got to say it's been hard to watch them fight, looking through all these challenges. You hope they're learning something out.
Moving on now to the game we've been watching. Evan Mobley has been fantastic.
Lock.
And that is it for halftime, folks. It is back to Kevin Harlan and the crew for the second half.
And welcome back to the second half of our Halloween broadcast. It's been one outstanding game from Jay.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of...
Wade, he's checked in for the Cavaliers. Sam Merrill comes in for James Harden. Johnson, he's checked in for the Raptors. So with Harden on the bench, this is who Kenny Atkinson has out there. The rim protectors standing tall for him, Mobley and Allen. Sam Merrill out there with Donovan Mitchell. And it's Wade in at the small forward. To the middle, looking to end the run. And Allen with the slam.
Unbelievable. The agility at his size, throwing it down, big fella.
Just a terrific perspective of that dunk from the Connected Cam, brought to you by AT&T. Well, Greg, you've had a long NBA career, so I'm curious, what's one of the biggest changes you've noticed since you've retired?
Well, you know, one that doesn't get talked about enough, length. You know, players these days are just longer, especially in the backcourt and that wing position. Feels like every team has a guy 6'9" or taller that is a pure perimeter player.
And in 2028, Cleveland poised, GA, to welcome the WNBA's 16th franchise.
Reviving the name and branding of the Cleveland Rockers, one of the W's inaugural teams that folded back in 2003, soon back on stage after a quarter-century hiatus.
As a player, a rough first half, look, it can wake you up. Sometimes it leads to much improved play in the second half.
Johnson with it. Now defended by Mitchell.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Raptors.
Oh, they've been punishing the inside defense consistently in this one. Look, it's been a very productive area of the floor for them.
Another thing they've done well tonight is convert at the free throw line. May seem like a little thing, but boy, it can pay big dividends.
And here's quickly for three. It's hauled in by the Cavaliers. Three-pointer, Wade. Rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And Johnson with the stuff.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Oh, great chemistry on display. He understood where to put the screen in order to free up his teammate.
Here's Schroeder. Oh, good with the triple.
And they continue to control the glass.
And the basket by Johnson. And it's a 9-point Toronto lead.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
When it ain't broke, leave it alone until someone stops him. Just let him roll.
The wide open shot from Strus. The Cavaliers again can't hit. Here's Johnson. 32 points in the game. Jacks up a 3. And Ingram with the basket on the assist by Johnson. Johnson's got assist number 9 now. Wow, what an effort here tonight. And so it's Toronto up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. And their ability to get points in the paint has... And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
A lot of times a spectacular pass is more impressive than a spectacular shot. This is one of those times.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Setting the floor for the Raptors. Brady Dick is out there with Scotty Barnes. Then it's R.J. Barrett. Then it's Johnson and Murray Boyles in at the center, filling out the middle.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Schroeder hits them both. Raptors leading by 10. Johnson attacking. Murray bowls. Johnson kicks to Barrett. Nobody near Barnes. Drains it from beyond the arc. Barnes has got 10 points here in the second half. Johnson against Schroeder. Pass to Tyson. Now here's Mitchell. Over Barrett. Nice D from Barrett.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Oh, and the dunk by Barnes.
Mercy. Scotty Barnes. That was nasty.
Pass to Mitchell. Mitchell with force.
And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket, guys, still shaking. Puts it up from 12. And the basket by Johnson. Johnson's got 34.
And that's just cold-blooded right there. He's taking no prisoners.
This is what you expect from him, just coming alive and dominating in effortless fashion here in the fourth.
Evan Mobley's checked in for Dean Wade. The Raptors also with a sub. Hurdle's checked in. And now Allie LaForce has something for us from the sideline.
Hey guys, well during that last break I heard Kenny Atkinson as he talked with his team. He questioned his team's effort, asking them, should I put in the bench right now? Wake up guys, we can still win this game, but I need you all to play like you believe you can. Not exactly a fun huddle to listen on, guys.
All right, Allie, thanks. Johnson attacking, and a rebound goes to the Cavaliers. Mobley's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game.
His consistency just hasn't been there this quarter in terms of his shooting.
Took him no time at all on that one. 37 points for Johnson.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Kicks it out to Mitchell. Oh, drew the foul and almost hit the three-point bucket. But he'll go to the line to shoot 3. Hard to put into words, RJ, the impact Donovan Mitchell had on last year's 64-win Cleveland Cavaliers team.
Yeah, that's the best Cavs team we've seen in almost a decade. Spider led this team, and it looks like they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Jared Allen's checked in for Max Strus. And it's Harden in for Dennis Schroeder. Harden the pass to Mobley. Mitchell in the corner. Three-pointer. Johnson with the rebound.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Lays it up and banks it in. Johnson's got 41.
He's been dominant all game long. Nobody on the floor can stop him. And look, let's just say he knows it.
Mitchell buries the three.
And really, the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
And the Raptors making a change here. Ingram's checked in.
And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
Rebounded by Allen inside.
And even without that three ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
There's a little burst to Harden's game. You can see that on the breaks.
Outside Ingram. Here's Barnes. Johnson with it. He's picked up by Mobley.
And not the prototype power forward, but he has tremendous athletic ability.
And so Harden will bring it up for Cleveland. Fires from way outside.
2 minutes.
Johnson against Harden.
2 minutes.
Johnson outside. Hurdle with a screen on Harden. Johnson, Hurdle trying to get open.
Wow, we are going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Greg. That was special. That was really special. Johnson against Harden. Mitchell outside. And there's the three.
He's found his rhythm from deep, and you can see the confidence.
And, of course, it helps space the floor, which gives this offense more room to operate.
Hurdle. Here's Johnson. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. Manuel quickly. He's checked in for Johnson. So it's Toronto winning this one. And tonight, not just a regular season win, it also counts in the NBA Cup standing.
And if you look at the teams that advance in the Cup, you normally have to win this first game, so they're off to a strong start.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Richard Jefferson, and Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks so much for joining us on this presentation from 2K Sports. And as we leave you, let's take a look at our player of the game, Jay